Hello everyone, I'm Enisa Gega. I hold a bachelor degree in law and now I'm a master's student in European Legal Studies in Torino University. Through this brief speech, I will introduce you with the concept of transitional justice. What is transitional justice? Is it a special form of justice? How to deal with the history of mass violations? How can be done in terrible circumstances where mass human violations have happened to ensure that the dignity of victims is recognized and respected, and measures are taken to prevent the recurrence of violations. Transitional justice term emerged in the late 1980s and early 1990s to deal with some experimental mechanisms in that time, mainly in response to political changes in Latin America and Eastern Europe, countries where important political and social transition was taking place. Transitional justice is not a special form of justice, but just justice adapted to societies transforming themselves after a period of pervasive human rights abuses. Transitional justice can be seen as a way to address the past. Only if you address the past, you will have a prosperous, peaceful, and democratic future. If you try to cover the past, then it is most likely to repeat those conflicts in the future. According to United Nations approach, transitional justice is the full range of process and mechanisms associated with society's attempt to come to terms with the legacy of large-scale past abuses, to ensure accountability, serve justice, and achieve reconciliation. It is often divided into four major elements: seeking the truth, prosecuting those responsible, helping to repair the lives and dignity of victims, and providing guarantees of non-repetition. Let's start with truth. A society cannot break the past without confronting and learning from the truth. What happened? Who was responsible? The effect on victims and the root causes of the violence. The truth can be established in different ways, official and unofficial. Official truth-seeking may include truth and reconciliation commissions, commissions of inquiry, national human rights commissions, face-finding commissions, and criminal investigations. Truth commissions are quasi-judicial or non-judicial investigative body. Their core activity usually include collecting statements from victims and witnesses, conducting thematic research, including gender and children analysis of violations, organizing public hearing and other awareness programs, and publishing a final report outlining findings and recommendations. Unofficial truth-seeking may include civil society report, media investigations, documentary films, and academic research. The second element is prosecutions. The main focus is in impunity. Impunity is seen as contributing a factor to the recurrence of mass crime in many parts of the world. Prosecution of those responsible for gross human rights violations, recognized as genocide, crime against humanity, war crimes, aggression, is essential for deterrence and to re-establish the rule of law. These crimes can be prosecuted in national, international, and hybrid courts. States have the primary responsibility to exercise jurisdiction over these crimes. But in reality, States emerging from the years of conflict may be unable or unwilling to conduct effective investigation on prosecutions. In such situation, international and hybrid criminal tribunals may exercise jurisdiction. The establishment of the International Criminal Court, the only permanent international criminal tribunal that is sits in Hague in the Netherlands, represents the most significant recent development in combating impunity. The other element is reparations. After the occurrence of mass violations, especially the relationship between citizens and state is seriously damaged. Rebuilding this relationship requires to have effective steps to redress violations of human rights. What can be done? Firstly, compensation for the damage to victim life. Restitution, meaning to restore victims to their original situation before gross violations occurred. Rehabilitation, which may include the provision of medical, psychological, legal, or social services. Satisfaction, which may include encouragement of suffering and memorials, building museums, establishing days of commemoration, effective reforms that provide victims with a guarantee that violation will not recur. The other element is guarantees of non-repetition, which deal with institutional reform. There are necessary changes that must be done to provide guarantees of non-repetition, ensuring that those who are complicit in committing violations can no longer hold or public positions. Reform may include constitutional and laws, educational institution, judiciary, media, security forces like military, and political systems. There are different models of how to implement or develop transitional justice. Punity, truth and reconciliation, forgiveness and oblivion, and mixed model. Each society must choose its path for dealing with the past. United Nations rule of law assists in the design and implementation of transitional justice mechanisms, providing technical, material, financial support, and promoting peace agreement.
In situations where mass human rights violations have happened, indifference, silence, forgetting can be seen as another crime.